All right, guys, welcome back to the Jesse Grant Show. So today we have got some huge major topics to talk about in the movie industry, and so let's just jump straight in. Now, topic number one is that a Black Adam sequel could be in doubt. So they haven't actually come out and announced that there's definitely going to be a sequel. Of course, they're alluding to it because, of course, they're planning for it. And they would like to build a world around three major characters, being The Flash, Henry Cavill's Superman, and Black Adam. And they don't want Black Adam to be a side character to Shazam either, which I'll touch on later in the episode. But anyways, back to all about Black Adam. Now, Black Adam may actually still be in doubt. Because they haven't announced a sequel, they're probably looking at the finances. How marketable is Black Adam in comparison to other characters like Superman, like Shazam, and these other characters in the DCEU? How marketable is Black Adam? Now, of course, many people thought it would be extremely marketable, seeing as it is Dwayne Johnson. And yes, it has done well in the box office, but in the grand scheme of superhero films, it kind of hasn't done that well. If you look at the first opening weekend, yes, it was Dwayne Johnson's biggest success at an opening weekend box office. But in the second weekend, it dropped over 60%. Now, that is usually common in a really big, high-budget film that makes a lot of money its opening weekend because less people want to go watch it the second weekend because they've already seen it. But making $80 million, which Black Adam did in its opening weekend, doesn't warrant a $60 million, a 60% drop. You know, you look at movies like Spider-Man, that dropped over 60%, but that made over $200 million in its opening weekend. Compare that to Black Adam, which only made $70 to $80 million domestically and dropped domestically over 60%. That is not a good sign. And that means Black Adam didn't do as well as the DC would have hoped, and they're still struggling to break even. So if a big superhero film can't break even, that seems like a character that they're not going to base a whole universe and a whole world around. And while that may be sad because I know a lot of people liked Black Adam, I went to see Black Adam and actually enjoyed it. Of course, it's in it that I didn't quite enjoy. I thought the story was sort of weak along with the writing, but you can still not deny that it was a pretty good movie, and DC seemed to be moving a lot better for the future. And I was kind of looking forward to more Black Adam films, a Black Adam trilogy, where you bring in Man of Steel in the second movie maybe. Of course, they hint at it at the end, but who knows what they're going to do now because they haven't actually announced the sequel. Now, of course, they wouldn't announce the sequel this soon after the first movie, so I'm kind of betting that they will still put out a sequel, but I'm still sort of in shock that it hasn't done as well as it could have at the box office. When you think about the incredible cast they had, when you think about all the marketing that went into it, it's a superhero movie, it's Dwayne Johnson's debut in the DCU, I would have expected it to at least do $100 million in its opening weekend. And it was actually tracking to do that. Purely from the marketing standpoint, they were probably going to hit that $120, $130 million mark in its opening weekend and break even by the second week. But the whole reason it didn't was because of the reviews. Now, I've said this before in the past, but to me, story is always the most important thing with a film, regardless if it is a big blockbuster, a superhero movie, it doesn't matter. You still need to have a really good story, and that's what was lacking in Black Adam, and that's what led to the reviews not being very pleasurable. You know, the reviews were not good for Black Adam, and that significantly hurt its box office, especially in the opening weekends, because a lot of families don't have the money to just splurge on watching a movie that they're not going to enjoy, so they want to know they're going to like it, so they do look at the reviews. People say reviews aren't important. I say they are for that exact reason. People don't want to waste money on a film at the cinema that they won't like, that they can just watch on streaming later. So that significantly hurt its box office, which in turn led to it not making a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, which in turn could lead to it not having a sequel. Let me know your thoughts. My thoughts are they're still going to do a sequel, but they're definitely having second thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment below.